Hi, everybody. Welcome to RochesterFirst.com. I'm Eric Snitil. This is John Kutchko. That is more snow on the ground. What is still a cold day today, John?
Yeah, we've had now, what is it, 5-6 days of pretty bitter cold,
Yep.
which is going to keep the snow on the ground, put the ice on the piers and everywhere else, but that's about to change.
Which arguably, this has been one of our longer stretches so far this winter of temperatures like this.
Well, yeah, since winter officially began December 21st, we have not seen something like this, an extended period of frigid. So I know I enjoy it. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I've certainly been waiting for this.
You know, the nice thing, at least at this point, we got the snow on the ground to satisfy the snow lovers, but really no active snow falling. So for commuters headed home over the next 20 to 30 minutes, I think you're just fine. There could be a few flurries out there. Temperatures dropping into the low 30s, and it's not just us with the cold air. Look at how deep this cold air is digging into Florida, John. This blows me away. Temperatures tomorrow morning will be colder in Gainesville, Florida, than Juneau, Alaska, and those of us here in Rochester, Florida.
That's crazy. And I was in Florida for 4 days last week up until Sunday, where it was like 80, 85 degrees, incredible sunshine, beautiful. I got out of Dodge just in time.
Just in time.
Absolutely.
And in fact, now that you are back, you've gotten some really cool video. You shot some of this, if we could pull this up, of some of the pancake ice that we see when temperatures get this cold.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this. I love, as you know, going to Lake Ontario any time of year. Now check this out. This happens when you get that bitter cold. These are ice plates, pancake ice, and they form based really on the wind as well as the temperature. A wind from the south would push us out to sea, but these are pieces of a puzzle, if you will, interlocking perfectly with one another. Now, this is in Webster at Webster Park. The pier iced over, obviously, with the wind that we had the other day from the weekend. But look at these pieces. Always cool to see. On the east side of that pier, Eric, nothing. The pier protects it. But on the west side, there's plenty of it. But again, any wind from that south will push it right out to sea, and it's gone.
Yeah, and you can see at the edge of that pier, you saw just a trickle of that trying to make its way on through onto that other side.
And this is the view west. Now, I'm going back with the drone here. But look at east side of that pier, right side, nothing. And then the final shot here, you can see to the north. This is like above the pier going north.
Trickling on through.
And it trickles on through just as it gets past the pier.
That's something else.
It really is. And this never gets old to me. I love seeing that.
And I figure by the end of the week, that very same shot is just going to be water.
Yeah, probably. I mean, especially if you get any kind of breeze from the south. It doesn't have to be much. 3-4 miles an hour
and that'll do it.
Push it all away, and it's going to get warmer. So some of that will melt.
Kiss of death, I think, for a lot of that,
yeah, but I was very happy to get it.
You got some cool shots with that. We still have some lake effect, but a lot of this is going to be on the east side of Lake Ontario, north of Oswego and south of Watertown, and they get all the good stuff. We're just going to deal with flurries as we continue. There's your southerly wind, by the way, John, as we go into the day tomorrow. That'll be enough, I think, to nix a lot of those ice pancakes that you got. 35 by 2:30 in the afternoon. That will not help the snow situation either. A lot of our snowpack, Rochester running about 6 inches, coming to an end. Then we get this. Isn't this going to be fun again into the weekend?
I'm really excited about this.
So here's what we've got going into the weekend. We've got another area of low pressure that is going to be somewhere nearby. This has been the case all winter long, it seems like. The temperature situation is very borderline. What does that mean? Oh, we're going to be awfully close to freezing. So we teeter on, is this going to be snow? I'll tell you what, this would be heavy snow on Saturday if we do stay 32 or below. Or do we get rain or some sleet mixing in? And you see that showing up here. This is very reminiscent to me of what we just went through this weekend while you were getting ready to fly home. And, still very borderline temperatures. We had some places get 4, 5, 6 inches of snow on Saturday, but if it was a couple degrees warmer, it would have been primarily rain.
Interesting about this, as opposed to a week ago to me, is that there's really not mention at all of potential ice. It's either snow or rain. Why is that?
And
I
do think that's going to be unlikely in this case, too. A lot of the worst icing events have less to do with what the surface temperature necessarily is. It's what's going on with the warmer air aloft. This is not going to be the kind of system that flings a lot of warm air a few thousand feet above our heads. And the reason for that, we call these cut-off lows. And when we say that, a lot of these lows, when they move by, they are attached to the jet stream. So they have this ribbon of wind that out ahead of it ushers in all of that warm air. These cut-off lows almost get pinched off from the flow, so they don't really have that connection to that warmer air coming in. So I don't see this as being an icing situation. I think it's either snow, rain, or some semblance of the two.
Another question. Southern tier obviously considerably cooler than it is here. Can you say definitively that places like Wellsville, Olean, Dansville will get a plowable snow at this point?
No,
Okay.
I can't. Honestly, at this point, I wouldn't say anything definitively.
Sure.
I think their odds are probably better of getting that just because they're a few degrees colder.
Yeah.
But the reality of this is if we end up with this low going a little farther north, we're going to get enough warm air pulled into everywhere where you end up probably getting enough mixing in there where it's just a sloppy mess. So the weekend could go a number of ways here, John. The weekend could be a sloppy mess with minimal accumulations. I will go out on a limb and say that if this ends up being a primarily snow event, this would be a plowable snow through most of the area. So that is very much on the table and very much something that I would say probably by Thursday we're going to have a pretty good grasp of this. And usually we say we're not just, copping out with that. More reliable models only go so far out. And we're 4 days out, so we've only got a handful of computer models that go that far out.
What is the over-under on number of texts I send to your phone asking about this between now and Friday night?
The whole time?
The over-under.
I'd say 4 or 5.
I was gonna say
That's
5.
reasonable.
Yeah, 5 is reasonable.
That's reasonable. I go with that. We taper off to snow showers here on the backside on Sunday. You see the wind flow back off to the northwest. So, we shall see. We had a nice little surprise with that, and I wish I didn't have this on here. I'm building this graphic. That shouldn't even be in there. Forecast for tonight.
That's all good.
Temps in the 20s.
It intrigued me.
Yeah, I know it did.
It's all good.
Yeah, we'll pop that on Facebook and to Twitter here in a couple of minutes when we get that built. So there's your 8-day. We'll highlight Saturday and Sunday. You see the yellow highlights there. Yeah, we get the snowy side. This would be an impactful, snowy kind of weekend.
Right.
But we will play that by ear. It is nice, though, just for you and I, us being snow lovers. It's always nice to have something on the horizon to look forward to.
I'm excited about it.
Too.
I'm already formulating my digital plans for Saturday.
But yeah, we're going to have to see, and beware any forecast that I could post the Euro model that came out at 12 noon that suggests we're going to get 17 inches of snow in Rochester. And I know somebody is going to post that on social media.
Some lone wolf will go
Somebody will do it. Just buyer beware. This is just real talk between you and I. When you're 4 days out and you see a snow map, I would be very, very hesitant with the source.
Let's go Euro model.
We'll see
That's
what
the one
happens.
I like.
We'll talk again at 5 o'clock on TV. In the meantime, stay tuned. We'll see where this forecast goes.
Take care.